occupied, right? So coming to the today's session, today we'll discuss about the HANA licensing part. So HANA licensing part here. So SAP HANA, so licensing. So as part of this licensing part in the HANA database, so there are the two types of licenses we have in the HANA DB, right? So one is the HANA license management. There are types of license management here. So why? Because HANA is a proprietary commercial type of software, so the license keys are required to use the HANA database here. So we can delete the HANA license keys using the Studio, HANA Studio. We can use it here. So there are the two types of license keys are available in HANA database, right? There are the two types of license keys, two types of license are available. So two types
Good.
of licenses here. One is the temporary license, temp license, temporary. Okay. So temporary. Second one is the permanent license here. Temporary license, permanent license here. So temporary means whenever temporary license means, so the temporary license keys are automatically installed when you can install the HANA database, then temporary license are installed. This license validity only 90 days, only 3 months. The license validity is only 90 days. In that case, we should request a permanent license keys from the service marketplace before it go expiry date. Then then we need to, within the 90 days period, so we need to request the permanent license keys here. So whenever you do the installation, go to the SID properties. Here there is a license. You can see the license here. There is a, after the installation, you will see the temporary license here. After the installation, you see the temporary license. So this temporary license is valid only 90 days only. 90 days only. Within this expiration time, you need to request the new license key. Otherwise, if you don't request the new license key, so then your system on this date, you cannot log into the HANA database because of the there is no valid license in your system. So this will impact your operations and everything here. So just install, just click on the delete or delete install. Then whatever the database file you have, just click it. Then that data license key will be installed here. That license will be installed. So it's simple. Installation is very simple, but we have to understand the license keys here, right? So 90 days is the temporary license. By default, you will get from SAP after the installation here. After the installation, you will get the installation here. So we will get the installation here, right? So that is the main thing of the, so temporary license keys here, right? So what about the permanent license keys here? Permanent license keys. So the permanent license keys are valid till predefined expiration date. So we have to, when you are requesting the permanent license keys, we have to define the expiration date. We have to define it here. So when you need up to how many years you required, what is the end date you required. So then we require the permanent license keys we have to require here, right? The license keys are specify the amount of memory license to the HANA installation here. So they can be downloaded, installed from the service marketplace. There is a keys there, we can install it here, right? So permanent license keys. So there the permanent license keys also, there are the two types of permanent license keys are available again in the permanent license also. It's a permanent until you define the, if you define the expiration date, then that will be ended. That is called the permanent license keys are valid until predefined expiration date during the time of the HANA license key generation, that time you need to define these keys, right? Second one, then permanent license keys, there are the two types here. One is the enforced. Second one is the unenforced here. Enforced and unenforced here. Enforced and unenforced here. So we have to type it here. Enforced and unenforced, we have done it here. So what is mean by enforced here, right? Enforced. What is mean by enforced? So enforced means if the enforced license key is installed, then so suppose if any license key, HANA license key, it will based upon the your memory consumption only. Means license key, when you are generating the license key, you need to define the up to how much quantity of memory you are going to use it. That quantity you need to define it. 20 GB or 100 GB or 1 terabyte or 3 terabyte, how many GBs, how much GB you are going to request, that much of GBs you need to request here, right? Enforce license keys here. So the consumption of the license ANA system is exceed, the memory, licensed memory is exceed, ANA system will get locked. HANA system will get locked and you need to restart the system and apply the new license keys. Okay, that is the unenforced here. Means it kind of a prepaid. Prepaid. Whenever you do the prepaid mobile recharge, once that plan is completed, then your system will get locked. Means you will not able to call to the, you will not able to call, right? So mean once that plan is completed. But unenforced is unenforced is there is no like if that unenforced means if the license key is installed, the consumption of the HANA system exceeds at the license of memory limit, then the HANA system is not affected in this case. Means there is no impact on the operations and everything here. There is no impact of the operating systems and everything. It will not impact it here, right? So enforced and unenforced here. That is the main check here, right? Enforced and unenforced here, right? So there are the two types of license keys here, temporary license key and permanent license key here. So enforced. So normally this type of license keys, when you are suppose example, if you take the example here, this is the your HANA host. This is the your RAM slot. This is your RAM slot here. Take example, this is a 100 GB RAM slot you have. 100 GB. Okay, 100 GB RAM slot. So RAM slot you have, you purchased the license, but you have purchased the license up to 90 GB only. You purchased the license. The thread is the threshold is 90 GB only. Okay, then ANA will start consuming the license. ANA license is based upon the main memory. ANA license is based upon the main memory. ANA license is based upon the main memory here, right? ANA license is based upon the main memory. In case of, in case of, so ANA, whenever data comes, the license memory, why? Because it will use the memory. Then it will keep on increasing, and the 90 GB is crashed. Then immediately your HANA system will get crashed. Crashed means it's locked from the operations. So all the transactions will be stopped here in the enforced level. But if you go to the unenforced, even though you have the license limit is over, then you have the remaining memory you have not purchased, right? Then it will use the remaining memory, it will use it here. Means unenforced means unlimited. This is the limited, simple technique. It's a limited memory, limited licensed memory, it will use it. This is the unlimited license memory, it will use it here. Limited and unlimited, it will use it here. Limited and unlimited license memory, it will use it here. There are the different type of license scenario can be used in the HANA system, depends upon the landscape here. Standalone, cloud, BW, HANA. But so these are the there are the types of license keys in the HANA. One is the temporary and second one is the permanent. In the permanent also we have the two types, limited and unlimited. So HANA license based upon the main memory. How much memory your data? Suppose example, now the current usage is 10 GB. The 10 GB is memory is over 10 GB, then but you have the RAM size is the 32 GB. 10 GB, 32 GB. So that is fine. So you have to pay for amount for 10 GB only, even though you hit the license. One, how much memory it is using. So HANA license is based upon the main memory. How much memory you are using for HANA, how much data you are storing in the main memory, that type of quantity, that type of GBs you need to pay for SAP, right? So in case in out of 32 GB, you purchased only 15 GB only license you have. Then 50 GB is crossed, then your HANA system will locked for the operations in enforced. But even though remaining 50 GB is available free memory, then it won't use it. Why? Because you purchased the enforced. Unenforced means it will use the remaining amount of memory. It will use it here in the unenforced concept. Unenforced concept. It will use the it will use the unenforced concept. It will use it here. These are the types of licensing we have in the HANA database here. Okay. So we can apply the HANA licensing from system DB. Go to the properties here, license. Then we can install the license here. Okay. That will be done it here. Okay. That is the HANA license is here. So catalog, then can the catalog, we discussed about the tables and everything. Content is that one. Provisioning concept here. What is mean by provisioning in the HANA database level here? Provisioning. So provisioning is like kind of a smartly we can access the other databases data. Smartly we can access the other databases data into this HANA database. So some customers, they don't have much budget to install all the HANA databases in their landscape here, right? So they don't have much knowledge. So SAP HANA provisioning here. SAP HANA data provisioning concept here. Some customers, they don't have much budget. So in that case, so they will only install the one common HANA database in centrally, and so they can install they have the other databases as well, SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, MaxDB, Sybase. There are the multiple databases they have here, right? Suppose example SQL, DB2, so MaxDB, DB2, so MaxDB, some other. So HANA, we have the HANA database as well. So then we can take the Oracle as so. So sometimes the developers, the HANA developers is required the access. This is the one more HANA system here, centralized HANA system here. They require the access of all the data, right? They need this SQL server data. They need this one. They have to merge it. For that, their business scenario, their business process, they need to merge all the scenarios. They have to merge it. In that case, they need to log into the SQL server. They need to get the data. This one, each and every individual server, they have to log in. They need to get the data. But if they want to move to the HANA database, they don't have the budget and they don't have that much of time also. In that case, what they will do? So in HANA, they have introduced the smart data access, HANA provisioning concept. We can smartly create the remote connection to the database to database. We can smartly create the remote connections, and just you can log into the one single database here. You can grab all the systems data. You can grab it. You can grab all the systems data. You can grab it from the system. You can grab it here. All the systems data. You can grab it. You can pull it to the one HANA system. Then you can do the adjustments and adding and everything here. You can do the adding and adjustments. You can perform it here. So that is what we have to do it in the HANA provisioning concept here. Okay, which means we need to log into the HANA system. Then So the basis team will establish the connectivity to the all the databases. They will create a virtual table concept, which means without copying the data to here, they will access the just they will see the data of the DB2 database, SQL Server database with one access. With this access, instead of getting the all the systems access, they will log into this HANA database. Then they will grab the all the data. They will get the all the data of the systems here. They will get the all the data of the systems. They can get it out from here. So that's what we have to do it in the system. That's what we have to do it in the systems here, right? So that is the HANA, DB2, SQL, MaxDB, so Oracle. So like that, we can get the data. Then how to configure this concept here? How to perform this configuration? We can log into this HANA database, then create the connection to this HANA database. Then how can we pull this HANA database data to here? This procedure is called the HANA provisioning. Means we can provision the HANA other databases data into in this HANA database. We can provision it here. In this case, we can log into the system. Then there is a provisioning concept here. Then we can create the remote connections. Right click and click on the new remote connections here. The main thing is here. So you can create the remote connections to the multiple, not only HANA, Oracle, DB2, MaxDB, Oracle, Hadoop, HANA, IQ, Teradata, multiple other destinations you can create it. Then for that one, you need to install the some libraries at operating system level. Suppose if it is HANA, example, SQL Server DB2, we can take it out, but we don't have the databases. But example here, we can take the HANA database here. Then we can so there is a system called the ECP system, ECP to this HANA DB, we can pull the data. We can tables data, we can pull it out. What is that system details? What is the system details we need to pull it out here? So let me, there is a one database where we have the SAP system is running 108. Then we can go to the 192 dot, we can provide that HANA database related details. So host name and all the details we can pull it out. Then what is the port number? 3, instance number 13. Then the HANA SQL port number, HANA port number we have to provide it. What is the user, system user? What is the password? Can provide the password of that one. Then you can just click on the save this editor so that it will create the remote connection, and the connection to the remote system is established. Means one remote connection has been established here. One remote connection has been established. Means the connectivity to the one remote system has been established here. Right? Like that, you can create the number of connections to the other databases as well. Then after that, just you can go to the system. Then what database data you want to export. Then you can just go to the, suppose you need, so that is also HANA system, right? Then you can just grab the data, whatever the data you need from that HANA databases here. These all are the schema, that HANA database schema, right? You are in the current this HDB schema, HDB, then you are pulling the ECP related data you are pulling from here, right? So then you can see it here, what database you can get the data, what database data you can grab it here. So suppose like licenses, disk usage, security, what data, security alert, statistics alert. Then you can create as a virtual table here. You can create as a virtual table. Means it will create a one virtual table in the systems here. Virtual table in the systems here. So which means your data is not copying. It will creating as a one virtual table to the under the schema, so that you can grab the data, whatever the data you required, whatever the table data you required to, you want to see from here, you can see it from here, right? So whatever the data and everything, you can look it out the all the data and everything here, right? So any data, any APIs, you can create it. Then once the data is created, you created the connection now, so you can go to the catalog. In this database, there is a one table is created as like a virtual table here, right? Virtual table here. There are the two tables it's created as a virtual tables here. Then you can just pull the data of that database data. You can pull it out. That database data, you can pull it out here. So just you can grab the data, you can do whatever you want, same as like however you want to do. Then you can grab the data here, all the data you can grab it here, right? So this way we can perform the configurations. So that ECP data, without you connecting to that system, the production system, ECP system, ECP, this is the ECP system, without you connecting, so you got the data of that system, which means you are in the current database. And how you got the data means you created a remote connection. In that remote connection, you created the remote connection, then you have so distributed the data here. You created the connection and you created the connection part here. Then you can see the connections are opened. Then you can monitor the connections here, how the data got connected here. So all the information you got it here, right? All the information you got it here. So like that, we can also create the connection to the other SQL Server database as well. Any other tools also we can create the data here. So many things we can do it, which means the data provisioning is, so you can access the other database details from in this database. It will create as a virtual table. Just open the table and you can just directly, you can do the whatever you want to do it. You can do it either additions or something different, and you can do it, right? That is possible here. That is possible in these systems here. That's why, so we can create these connections here. We can create the connections to these systems, virtual
Can you
connection.
please
That concept
explain
is
this
called the
virtual table again?
virtual table.
Yeah, how did you create that?
How did you? Okay, virtual table creation. Just once you create the connection, then just
Right.
open that expand that connection. Then you can able to see the all the schemas. In that schema, just what type of table, what type of data you want to, what type of data you need from the system. Suppose I need so this table. Then right click and add as a virtual table. Then which schema you want to add it? System schema only. Then you added the table as a which system schema here. Then you can go to here. Then see one more table got added here. Then you can preview the data. Like that we can create the data. We can create a table as
So,
a virtual table. And also that
so
naming
what
convention
happened to the
also
other tables here?
sorry. Okay. So we can create a table as a virtual table here. So which means no need to always go for this one and right click and pull the data. So directly you can add whatever the tables you need to access. Same as like in this database, how you want to access it. Same way you can add table as a virtual table. Then you don't need to always go to the provisioning. Once the connection is established, directly you can go to the which tables data you want to merge it, join it. You want to do it, right click and just do the data provisioning and whatever you want to do it, you can do it in the systems. That's possible here. That's possible here. Then you can do the analysis of the, so analysis, and also the size of the data, whatever thing, everything we can see. So we have the two databases. We have two tenants. One is the MC1 and second one is the HDB. The HDB has the more size than MC1. MC1 is like a S4 database. This is the ECC IDS database. That's why we have the database size is very huge, which is contributing the more size here, right? So that is that way we can do the some analysis here, right? So this way it's not only for our analysis. The developer is required this data. So other databases data and this database data, they will join the two tables, they will merge it, they will concatenate, they will do multiple things, right? So they will do multiple. They need sometimes this type of connections they required. That's why we will create a connections and we will leave it out. Then they will do the remaining connections and everything. So like that, we are just not only for creating for HANA to HANA, non-HANA also you can create it. Some SQL server, some ADBC, Teradata, IQ, some other whatever the databases you have, all the databases you can just to create the query, big query, net data, Teradata, whatever you want. Just you can create the all the databases connections. You can create it. Then you can pull the data of the database source name and user ID password and provide the source connection name. Then SQL to HANA DB, just create the connection name. Just click on the OK. Connection is created, and then once the connection is created, then you can see the one more connection from here like this. You will get the one more connection here. one more connection like AIS, suppose like SQL to here. Then right click and you can just to add the table as a virtual table. Then you can access the data.
So the concept is same as DBcon.
DBcon, yeah, connection DBcon, yes, same as like a DBcon in the SAP level.
Oh.
Same as like a DBcon concept. So then we can find out, we can also find out like what, how many queries executed. You are only right click and you are pulling the data. Then how the data is grabbing here, how much data executed. Then you can see the monitoring of the connections here. So whether the connections are connected or disconnected or idle status, and we can see the configurations here. Just only thing is, just we have to right click on the remote sources and click on the new connections here. Then the connections will be created. That's what we have to do it in the systems here, right? So that is the main thing. So just you can also get the, so suppose SAP other users data, then you can create the one more connections and you can grab the data. So whatever it may be, you can grab the data here. Okay, so that is the data provisioning concept. Then what left we have? Stop and start, you know how to stop and start.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, yesterday for HANA log folder, you said when it got full, like system will be crashed, right, sir?
Yes.
You said after that we can select another folder and create a
Mount
soft
point,
link.
we have to create it. There is a procedure, separate procedure. That procedure we have to follow. We have to create the separate mount point for the available directory. Then the new logs will return into the available new mount point. There is a OS level activities, you have to do it. There is a command to create it, ln-s, then target path and source path. We have to create the one soft link here. Otherwise, your Unix team they will help you how to create the soft link and mount the file systems and everything. So that based on that, we can temporarily we can move the files.
Okay, sir.
And there is there is a small concept here. Uh, yeah, resident HDB LCM tools.
Ravi,
Yes.
yeah, if we reset the logs, is that logs will go like alter system reset log? It will delete the all the archive log files.
Reset or reclaim.
Reset.
Reset, it won't delete any log files here. It won't delete anything, right? So reset, I think we won't use. Reclaim, we will use it. Reclaim the
Oh,
log space, that the logs we will use it, reclaim. So reset, we won't use that reset of the logs. If you do the reset of the log volume, then that will be recovery, point in time recovery. There's some logs mismatching some transactions, so that will be missed it out.
reclaim. What will happen actually?
Reclaim means reclaiming the space. Suppose in the HANA database, there is a 10 GB already used the log space. Even though you have the free space, even though you deleted some data, but even still it is showing the 10 GB only. Then if you use the alter reclaim log volume command, if you use it, so then whatever the free log segments are there in the log directory, that will be reclaimed. Reclaimed means the space will be so released by the log segment. Space will be released by the log segment. You can see that the availability of the free space will be C sometimes. So
Oh,
sometimes you won't see. Why? Because there is no free log segments here. That's the concept of the reclaim. So
okay.
safer side we will do 100% is full, then you are sure 100% is full. But when you see in the back end, definitely there is a free space is there, but still it is showing the 100%. Then when you
Okay.
execute the reclaim command, it will give you 2 GB, 3 GB free space. It will be reclaimed. Then immediately you can execute the backup that will clean up the everything. Sometimes it won't show, sometimes it will show. So safer side, before you create the mount point and everything, reclaim command we have to use it, so that will reclaim the, if any free log segments are there, if any blocks are there, that will reused it, the space will be reclaimed to the your front ends.
Okay. Thanks.
So next one, small concept. This is also the resident HDBLCM. So normal HDBLCM, we know for the installations, upgrading, uninstallations, updates, all those things, we will use the resident HDBLCM, sorry, normal HDBLCM, which will come as part of the installation. As part of the installation, so normal HDBLCM will come. But what about this one, sir? This when what is means? This is the after installation of the SID, you will get the resident HDB LCM. Resident HDB LCM. This is for the post installation activity. As soon as HANA is installed, we have to use this resident HDB LCM. The path of this one is /HANA shared SID, then HDB LCM. That is the path for the resident HDB LCM. Here we can do some post activities here. Suppose example /HANA shared HDB. So suppose here you want to do some post activities, not this system. This is the different SID. Okay, so the F1 so we need to go to the CD/HANA/shared/ so SID/HDB/OS level, operating system level, HDB LCM. This is a resident HDB LCM. You can see HDB LCM. So normal HDBLCM we will see in the installation toolkit, right? Installation file in the /media, we will see the HDBLCM tools. But how it got created means after the installation, end of the installation, this resident HDBLCM is created for do the post installation activities like post installation activities like SLD creation. If you want to uninstall this win also, if you want to rename the SID, we want to update, we want to configure the SLD, we want to internal network connections here, we want to add the additional host to the system again. Now it is installed. Now I want to add the one more host for the load balancing purpose. Then we can use the add host button here. Then update, unregister the system, rename, SLD, internal network connections. Like that we can use it here. These are all the use cases for the resident HDB LCM. What is meant by resident HDB LCM means after the installation, we want to perform the any post activities like rename, remove, uninstall, unregister, update, configure the SLD, internal. Then suppose I want to configure some internal network. Then we have to use it. Then administrator password. Okay, password we have to use it here. What is the administrator password? So we can use it here. So that password we need to type it here. What is the password of this one? HTTP ADM. Okay. So then what type of network you want? Local network or internal network or global network? Suppose example, sometimes you may have to configure this one. Then you can use this one, configure some local network configuration. You can use the network configuration for the SLD setup. You want to register this HANA into the SLD, then configure the SLD, the fifth step number 5. Then you need to provide the SLD host name. What is the SLD host name? You need to provide it here. Means SLD means Java server details. You need to provide it here, right? So then what is the port number for SLD server host here? So those port numbers you need to provide it here, right? So 8000 something example I am giving. Then username you have to provide it here. Then password you need to provide it here. Then just click on the OK button. Then your system will be registered into the SLD. So like that, if you want to perform any post activities, so then there are the resident HDB LCM tools are there. You can use this resident HDB LCM to perform these activities here, right? So like that, we can configure so we can register the system into the SLD here, right? So like that, anything, if you want to update, if you want to unregister, if you want to install anything, you want to do it, so you can perform using the resident HDB LCM tools here. Okay, so that is the one thing here. And the next thing, it's a small things actually. And the next thing, HANA file systems. Okay, so shall I explain? Will you guys practice?
I'm okay with practicing.
Practice.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no problem. You can practice it, not a problem. So next thing, we will discuss about the HANA OS level file systems, then HANA upgrade, how to perform it, then main important topic, HANA backups, HANA recovery, HANA backup and recovery, then HANA HADR concepts. They are the very important topics. There are a lot of things are there to discuss. So it's a very, very small topics real, but just practice the studio administration, stop and starts, and yeah, how to check the log files, troubleshootings. These things just practice it. The main things are there still. So HADR, high availability, DR recovery mechanisms, how it will works, and also backup, how to take the DB backups, then how to recover the systems here. So how to update the HANA systems here. They are the main topics here. Then DB restore, DB refresh. So there the topics are there that we will cover it. So, but main thing is, see this basics you can understand it, how to do operate it and everything. OS level commands. This all these things you need to practice it. So please practice it. Then so yeah, we'll tomorrow we'll see about the HANA file systems, and we'll talk about the HANA upgrade prerequisites, what we have to do. So what components, how to update the HANA systems, and how to add the add-ons and plugins also. Okay. So you just meanwhile you can practice it today. Okay.
So I got a few questions. So
Yes.
does it really matter whether you're establishing a new connection from a tenant database versus a system database?
You need data to only tenant database, right? System DB, nothing will be stored in the tenant DB. So only
Okay.
tenant is the main. So we have to add the connections to tenant only.
Tenant only. Okay. Okay. And when you're creating a virtual table, you can access it without establishing a new connection to
Yeah,
the.
it's not required. Once you've done it, one time activity, then you can log into the systems now, and then the connection is already working. Then you can open, and the developer will just pull the some data. They will do the some adjustments, some concat. There's some they will do it from their side, their activities. They can access it. Now also you can see you can log in. No need to always go and extra. Just go to the catalog in which schema you created the virtual table, and in this schema. So then in this schema, then just you can pull the data, right click, and they will do the some adjustments and everything. This connection will be permanent, always will be accessible.
So when you're creating a virtual table, do you have, maybe I missed that part. Do you have an option of selecting which schema that table
Yes,
needs?
yes. We have the option. You will get the
Okay.
option, right? Then yeah, we will get the option. Maybe
Okay.
you see here. So this is a schema. This is a target where you need the data. Then suppose you need some this database tables data. We don't have any data here. Suppose like BI. Yeah, suppose like you need the some BI cubes. So related data. Right click and add the virtual table. Which schema you want to add it here? The same
Oh,
schema.
okay. All right. All right. That's
Click on the
perfect.
create. Virtual table is created here. So then yeah,
Okay.
BI. Yeah, you can just
So,
add the data.
and then one last question is when you're establishing a new connection, I saw a section where it says the source location was set up as index server. Is that something that's always
Yes. Index server only. Why? Because all the data resides index server only. So we have
okay?
to provide the index server details only. Means index server port number we have to provide it.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it, everyone. Thank you so